Welcome everyone to Real Talk Rituals. Real talk, good vibes, zero judgment.
Woot woot.
Woot woot.
All right, everybody, buckle up because today we are stepping into one of our three sacred messes. Ask the oracle, tell the tea, or confess the chaos.
Today we are telling the tea.
Ooh.
This one is anonymous.
Oh.
Okay, so here goes. There's one person in my life who swears they're the most honest, loyal, tell it like it is person you'll ever meet. But somehow every situation ends with them being the victim and everyone else being the problem. They say they hate drama, but they're always the first to know it, the first to spread it, and the last to take responsibility for it. They love to talk about growth, healing, and boundaries, but only when it applies to other people. The moment they're called out, it's defensiveness, rewriting history, and suddenly I'm misunderstanding their intentions. I've stopped explaining myself, I've stopped engaging, and now I'm the villain for having boundaries. No names, no receipts, but if they're listening, they know exactly who they are.
This one's a little touchy. I have very strong opinions about it. How about you,
I mean, I feel like we all know people like this. We've come in contact with people like this at some point in our lives, and we've either chosen to remove them from our circle, or they just kind of linger. You know, they just kind of creep in every now and then, and you remember why they're not closer.
Yep.
I know I personally have known a lot of people that they are the first ones to say they hate drama and they don't like to get in the middle of it and they don't play the victim, but yet they're also the ones that do what people call the vague posts on Facebook and oh, I wish my life wasn't like this right now, just to get the people to say, oh, please tell me what's wrong. And they'll say, message me, or I don't want to talk about it. Those kind of people I can't stand. And that's what I thought of when I read this, is people that have the victim mentality. And they talk about the growth, the healing, and they are putting up boundaries and they're not tolerating this, that, and the other thing, but they're usually the perpetrators of what they say they're not going to tolerate anymore.
Yeah. I would like to say that healing is a lifelong journey and nobody's perfect. And a lot of times we can be blinded by, like, we really want to be a certain way. So we speak in that way, which is a good start. But then we follow our old cycles, which would be kind of like what you're talking about. And when someone posts something very vague on Facebook, and I see it often, and years ago, it used to bother me a lot. But when it bothered me, what I realized was like, it only bothers me because I used to be that way. like I'm a recovering people pleaser, but I'm also a recovering like victimhood woman, right? Like I was a single mom and I had no help. And like, why would you do that to a single mom? I don't know. Like, I've been there and I have played the victim to a T. And the only way that you move past those types of actions or cycles that you're in is by being aware of them. So until you can take accountability for your own shit, like some people just are like that forever. But like for me, I just don't engage. Like I don't engage and I try to love people where they're at. And I think what this person is doing is saying that they forgive me if I'm like wrong, but was it you, Em, that said that you distance yourself, or did they say they distance themselves? Because really that's what it takes is like creating those boundaries and that distance. Because if you don't do that, you are the average of the five people you hang around the most. And sometimes those things will kind of seep into your space, and then you'll find yourself acting that way in certain situations. So I think that boundaries are very, very healthy in this situation. And
Yeah,
then,
this person said, I've stopped explaining myself, I've stopped engaging, and now I'm the villain for having boundaries. And then I said, distancing yourself, because that's what I've
yeah,
had to do.
yeah. I mean, you and I have both been through that, but like, who cares if you're the villain in their story? Like, maybe that's what you are meant to be for them to move on to their next, whether they realize it in 1 year, 5 years, or never is not your responsibility. Like, it's not your job to teach them. And if you, by you setting boundaries, you're showing them how to act in the situation, right? Like you are modeling how you should be. And the fact that they think that you're a villain because you've set the boundaries and you've created the space. And as long as you've given the opportunity and not by telling someone, like you don't tell someone, don't be like this or blah, blah, blah. Like, for me at least, I like to guide and I like to model my expectations. And if you can't rise to that occasion, then we need space for you to either figure it out and come back into my space in a respectful manner, or we just have that space and I just love you from over here. I don't think I love these people any less. I just think that we're on completely different levels, and I just love them where they're at. Like if that's what you need to complete your soul right now, one, like I'm really sad because I know what it's like to be in that space. Usually you're pretty hurt and you're pretty lost in those stages. And so I try to remember what it felt like when I was in that space so that I can, one, give myself gratitude. I'm not there anymore. And two, meet them where they're at and just be like, yeah, I hear you. I see you're seen and heard. And if I'm the villain, go find less. I don't know. Like, good luck. Best of luck. I love you. And hopefully things work out for you. You don't need people like that in your space. You just don't.
Boundaries, you don't need permission for boundaries, and distance is sometimes all the closure that you need.
Hmm.
That is closure. So you need to stop explaining yourself to people that are going to use your explanations as fodder material for them,
Hmm.
because you just need to stop talking to them, stop talking about it. And the fact that you're even asking the question really shows that you're already choosing yourself. The fact that you submitted this to us, you're already choosing yourself, and you just want to make sure, maybe you're just looking for a little bit of clarity or validation that this is the right thing to do. And if protecting your peace makes you the villain, then lean in, because every good story needs a villain, in my opinion. And
That part.
all these Disney movies, they all got a villain in them. And if somebody's growth journey still requires the applause, then it's not growth. They're not wanting to grow. They're just wanting to put on a show for everybody else. And if that's not what you are needing in this time in your life, you're not into theatrics. You're not there to help them put on their show. You are healing, you're growing, and you're setting the boundaries. And if they don't like it, then that's their problem and not yours. So some people just, I don't feel like everybody needs access to you.
Yeah.
They need to just go get a hobby, and you're not their hobby. So don't let yourself be their hobby.
Yeah. I mean, you just said so many powerful things like that. I feel like people need to like go back and listen to however many seconds ago that was because Everything that you just said is so spot on. You don't need to be a character in their story because you're the lead of your own. And like the people are just, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. The amount of control that you have over being a villain in their story is absolutely zero. Don't fret. Like, don't, just love them, literally love them where they are. All you can do is bring it back to the gratitude. I grew up on Disney movies. I love Disney movies. I have been just a Disney girl my whole life. But like I said on stage, my very first talk that I did, burn that shit to the ground. Like, burn the Disney movies because they literally psychologically fucked me up. Like, for real, for real. And that's a whole different episode, right?
Well, I mean, I still want to go live in the woods with all the forest animals and,
Yeah, but do you want to
the
get
seven little
saved by
men.
Prince Charming that you're only good enough for? Are you kidding me? Get out of here.
No, that's why I love Snow White, because there's 7 men and a prince.
Mm-hmm.
There's options.
They're kind of half. But they're not really
Okay, there's
seven whole
three and a
men.
half men plus a prince, 4.5.
Isn't that a show? Three and a
Oh,
half,
2.5 men.
2.5 men. Okay, not three. I actually showed a house to the makeup artist and the director of that show. They were on it for like 12 years or something.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's so cool. I have never watched an episode, but I heard it was funny. And now I'm over here. It's 3.5 men. No, that's wrong. Wrong again.
Yeah.
Anywho, I do feel like everything that you said is like it was just said so well because you're right. Who cares? And I don't know. Just I'm off today. I'm sick. So my brain's not clearly not working because usually I don't have this much trouble forming thoughts.
Yeah. No, I just think that just keep in mind that you're not walking away because you're weak. You're
Yeah,
you're walking away because you finally see the clarity and what it really is. So that's why you're just choosing to be done with it.
Mm. And you said like the validation piece, right? Like permission. And I think that's really important to talk about because we do a lot of permission slip talk in the talks that we do and the work that we do with Cocoon Butterfly Movement. And we talk about how you don't need permission. Like but if you want it, here it is. So here you go. If you want permission, here you go. You have it. Like, it's okay to move on from this person. It's okay to choose yourself. It's okay that it didn't work out. And it's okay that they think you're the villain. Like, let it be. That sounds like a them problem. Like,
Yeah,
that's not
and
about you.
you're allowed to outgrow the people who only knew the old version of you because there may have been a time to where you would feed into that, oh, you poor
Mhm,
thing, tell me what's
mhm.
wrong. What can I do to help you? And I'm
Yeah,
not saying helping people is a bad thing by any means, but you really have to protect your space and protect your peace because you will offer help to the wrong person and then they will just expect you to always be there to pick them up when they fall and always be the one to save them when they're in this rut. And to me, when people are like how you explained it, that is, in my opinion, that can turn into a form of manipulation because you really feel bad for them. You could potentially end up being gaslit, made to believe that if you don't do anything for this person, then it's going to be your fault that it didn't work out, whatever that thing was. So you really have to be picky and choosy as to who you say, what can I do to help you?
I
Because you,
agree.
you don't want to get stuck into that. So some people, they don't they're not really looking for resolution. They just want control or a reaction out of you, and just don't feed into it. Don't explain yourself. Don't defend. Stop hoping that they'll hear you someday, because they're not going to.
Yeah, it's like talking to
That's
a wall.
yeah, that's the gist of it.
And well, and that's the thing is like I also don't explain myself, but I do find that there's a specific energy of person. Usually it's like if I'm with my family, just because it's so easy to fall into that who I was before when I'm with them to fill that role. But other people will come in that have similar energy to specific people that I know, and I will start over explaining. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, who? No, stop it right now. Because I used to over explain because I wanted people to understand why I was choosing me or why I was choosing the situation that I thought was better. And it's like, you don't have to do that. You absolutely owe no one anything. Not zero. Absolutely zero. Like you we say this a lot, right? No is a complete sentence.
Yep.
Or like, if you want to be like polite, no, thank you. Like,
Fuck no.
fuck no.
Not only no, but hell no.
And that applies to everything. And I've met some, like higher up people in different companies or like people that typically gain a lot of respect just from being in the room. And first of all, I don't know that typically, or nor do I care. Like whether you're CEO or the janitor, I'm going to treat you like how the energy calls for. And I've had people be like, you can't talk to this person because they're whomever. And I'm like, oh, that's funny. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I just did. I really don't care who you are. If you treat me like shit, I'm gonna let you know. That's not cool, bruh. Like,
Well, even in my job,
no, thank you.
I work for the hospital, and so when people call up, they still have to tell me their name and their date of birth. It's a HIPAA requirement. I can't release any information until they do that. And I'm telling you, even if the fucking president of the United States called, he would have to give me his name and date of birth. I'm not going to treat him any different than I would anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all. I'm not going to give
It's
anybody.
just, I think it's funny, like that people have these expectations, Like, how dare you? And then I think about like, when my kid messes up and I'm like, how dare you? But I have to be a good mom. But like anybody else, if you like do something that's not cool or rubs me wrong, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you exactly how it feels because maybe you just don't know. Maybe no one's ever told you before and you think that this is like normal or whatever. Like if I have to be the one, I mean,
Well, you can't fix it if you don't know it's broken.
today's the day. You're going to fuck around and find out today. You talked to the wrong one. But also, I think it's important to respect people too. I'm not saying that respect goes out the window. I'm saying partially I'm a Gemini, so how are we going to act today? And partially use your manners and be respectful and be kind. I'm not saying just fly off the wall at anyone or like go to the CEO of your company and be like, fuck you, dude, you didn't give us a bonus or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, this is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you're in the room with someone and they say or do something that makes you uncomfortable or brings up whatever emotion they bring in you, it is okay to kindly, with respect, say, hey, I didn't like that. Or like, hey, here's another, have you ever thought about this before? As long as you're doing things with love and respect and kindness, it doesn't matter who you are. And sometimes every once in a while, you got to pull up your sleeves and get a little like, intense with it when the time calls for it. But I guess I don't want to like sit here and be like, I just go around and someone big walks in the room and I'm like, hey, yo, fuck you. Like, that's
No,
not,
you say that after they leave.
like, that's not the goal. Like, I want to be very clear that yes, I am very blunt and yes, I do tell it like it is, but I also tell it in love. I also say it with the intent of someone hearing me out. It's not out of anger. It's not out of ego. It's not so I can get ahead or there's no hidden agenda. It's literally, hey, this happened. This is how I feel. Are you open to hearing this? And if not, okay. And sometimes it is like a cool, fuck you too. I'm okay with that. There doesn't need to be raised voices or fist throwing or that's all ego. It's negative energy. I'm not about that. But if it turns out to be like a fuck you thing, like a fuck you situation, I'm like, noted. Like, I hear you. I feel the same. And we just don't have to, interact. That's cool. I'm good with it.
Yeah.
So I don't want people to think that I'm saying just go like throw the F bomb at everyone every time they rub you wrong. Like, that's not what I'm saying. Do things with intent, with kindness and love to bring more understanding, to bring communication to the table if you can. And then if you can't, it's okay to part ways. That's what I'm saying. Release with love.
Yeah, there's a couple of thoughts that came to my head too because I've had plenty of relationships in my life to where I was raised to laugh in any situation, but I have been known to maybe take that humor a bit too far sometimes. So there's a time and a place for everything. And,
Yeah.
you and I, we can laugh, we can joke and things like that. But, I feel like there are times when we need to really read the room a little bit. And maybe this isn't the time to give that jab or, say something that you think is funny because the other person's probably not in the frame of mind to think it's funny and they might take
Right.
offense to it. Or I'm not saying tiptoe around anybody either, but that's
But
where
time and place. I
time
agree.
and place. And then the second thought that came in is um we're not about hand holding or anything like that, but I think we all know people even in higher spaces to where even though they say they don't really feel like they need to tiptoe around people, I feel like they still do
Hmm.
unnecessarily.
Yeah. I
There's a
agree.
lot of things that I see, especially in my job that well, we can't say this to this person because then this person will get upset, and that just causes a lot of struggle even within my department because then there's a lot of people that are like, okay, we're not going to confront this person, we're not going to say what we need to say to this person, and they
It's all
just
passive.
get to
It's
do
so
whatever they
passive.
want. So I think that's important too. Don't tiptoe around it. If it's something that needs to be addressed, address it, but do it in the
This is
right
why I
way.
don't last well in corporate, is because I don't tiptoe. I make big splashes, and it's not always a good thing. And in the corporate world, what I found is it doesn't always matter what your intent is. Sometimes you just have to sit down and shut up. And I'm not a sit down, shut up tech person to the point where it like irks me to my core, to the point where it like moves my soul in like a negative way. And so I feel like some people can relate. I am impressed with people who can have a corporate job for 30 years. That blows my mind because the longest I went was 7 years. And I was like, man, I need like a bottle of vodka before I go in here at 6 a.m. Like, I can't do like this is not the day. Tomorrow's not looking good either. I don't know how people do it because I'm so blunt and I don't tiptoe and I don't treat people the way that they're supposed to be treated in the corporate world. I have no chill. Like, I have no chill button. So even when I'm doing and saying things out of respect, because I'm not good at playing the game. Like, I can't play the long game where, you keep this quiet or you keep it in your back pocket. I forget everything that people say and I forgive people. And so they're like, well, this person said XYZ. And I'm like, oh, yeah, they did say that. Like, I just don't care. I don't play the game. So corporate was always a huge challenge for me. It was really hard for me to like go up the ranks because of who I am. Like even before my healing, my soul has never been very good
Yeah.
at that. Yeah.
It just reminded when you talking about having a vodka before 6 a.m. So there may or may not have
No,
been
a bottle of vodka, not a vodka.
a bottle of vodka.
Yeah, let's be clear.
So thank you for clarifying.
You're
That's a
so
huge
welcome.
difference. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is.
a vodka could be like a little airplane shot glass.
Yep.
But
Let me be clear.
who said that? Is that President
What?
Obama? Let me be
Let me.
clear. I think
Oh,
he
I
said
don't
that a
know.
lot. Anyway,
I don't
I
know.
digress. So you're talking about a bottle of vodka before 6 a.m. So there may or may not have been a time when I was working at a particular company in Washington State. And this was probably about maybe, if it did happen, maybe about 24, 25 years ago. Hypothetically speaking, there may have been liquid lunches. And this would have required me, or maybe not me, and another person going to this person's apartment for lunch and chugging down a few beers and then going back to work and sneaking in. And there were, and I'm totally hypothetically speaking, okay?
Hypothetically, I totally
Yes,
get it.
completely hypothetically speaking. Like, wouldn't it be cool if we worked in like this office with these cubicles and you could just duck in and kind of move around like Mission Impossible and nobody even knew you were gone type thing. So,
Oh, that'd be
but I'm
amazing.
just saying that would be so amazing if we were able to do that. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I
absolutely.
may or may not have happened.
Side note, but my hair has been growing so fast. Like really shocked actually. Because like just the other day, I was like, man, my hair is so short. Now I'm looking at it and I'm like, that grew fast. Wrong again. Anyway,
Okay, so
anywho,
anywho, any last minute thoughts before we wrap her up?
just do you, boo, and if you're do you know how many villains I've played? I am the villain in my kids' stories. I'm the villain in my ex-husband's story. Like, I am and embody this weird villain that everyone else apparently sees. And what that really looks is that I'm healing and growing, and that makes people uncomfortable. They are uncomfortable and they don't know what to call it. So they say, I'm being a villain or I'm being selfish. And I'm over here like, oh my God, thank you. I'm so glad that you see me like that because I worked really hard to be like this. So just keep doing you. If you're the villain in someone else's story, you're probably doing something right.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Just remember, you don't need permission to have boundaries. You don't need to explain your boundaries to anyone, and you don't need to be center stage in anybody else's drama.
Nope.
That's all there is to it. So just keep on keeping on, and you do you, and let them go their own way.
That felt like free therapy.
Except we're not therapists. We only talk and look like we are.
Amen. If you've got something to ask, tell, or confess,
visit us at IamHerThePodcast.com. Scroll down to Real Talk Rituals. And my voice just cracked. And submit your contribution.
trust me, babes, we love your chaos.
And if you learned something today, we want your input. Did Anonymous or didn't Anonymous go their own way?
Who knows? The world may never know. Until next time.
Thank you for listening to Real Talk Rituals.
Adios, muchachas.
Have a good night, everybody.